While we have explored space and sent people to the moon, one area that remains a bit of a mystery is our own brain, in particular the different processes and operations our brains perform every day. Recent research has tried to show a link between physics and decision-making, and now a model using quantum physics to explain how we decide between two or more options has been published. A recent study has shown that robots perform well as language teachers. Robots are machines that look like humans. They usually have a face, arms and legs. Because they are patient, children seem to enjoy learning with these machines. The robots will repeat the same words or tasks again and again. However, it is unclear whether robots can replace all roles a teacher has in the classroom. The haiku, one of the briefest forms of poetry, that hails from Japan. We'll come on to specific examples, but first you may have the misconception that the haiku is governed by strict rules that need to be adhered to. Actually, there is more flexibility, less constraint than you may imagine. What defines a haiku is that it is the experience, pure and simple. The writer's feelings or opinions should not permeate the text, for there is no room for them, neither in the word count nor the form itself. Here's a famous haiku for you to consider. So, looking at the product life cycle, a product reaches maturity following the growth stage. This can be a daunting time for manufacturers who want to extend the life of the product and prevent a subsequent downward curve. But how to increase the appeal while retaining the product's identity can be a conundrum. If we look at confectionery, there have been attempts to reinvent types of chocolate by going from a bar to individual pieces, for example. Varying the flavor is another common strategy. Here are some examples of this. Online exercise is not a new phenomenon, but how effective is it? Well, the technology is developing all the time and becoming more interactive. One example is a program that ballet dancers are using. They're able to see themselves on screen as though in a full-length mirror. The instructor is also evident as a visible yet indistinct figure. Those who pay more have a digital version of a two-way mirror enabling their instructor to see them in order to receive bespoke feedback. So getting what you pay for is undoubtedly true here. Scientists believe they may have discovered the smallest dinosaur remains ever found. Working in Myanmar in Asia, they uncovered a tiny, 7 mm long skull. Their find is thought to be fully grown and experts estimate it to be around 99 million years old. Both a bird and a dinosaur, the skull is about the same size as the world's current smallest bird, the bee hummingbird. Although the skull is similar to modern birds, there is evidence that it had up to 23 teeth, making it very different to birds we know. It's relatively easy to envisage what you'll be doing next week, but imagining a more distant future can be challenging because it feels so abstract. We tend to fall back on memories of the past to construct our visions of the future, but it's harder to guess which past memories will prove pertinent in making sense of things that are more distant. Research suggests that people who plan for failure are best equipped when problems arise. To do that, though, we need to picture ourselves in the distant future and predict what specific obstacle we may confront. Counselor, your tutor says you're rather quiet during tutorials. Student, yes, I don't always feel confident about speaking in front of other students. I do all the reading for preparation, but there's a lot of it and sometimes there are things I don't understand. Counselor, well, part of the purpose of a tutorial is to clarify anything you didn't understand in the reading, so you shouldn't feel embarrassed about asking questions. And if the reading load seems quite heavy, you can always ask the tutor what the real priorities are. We use skeletal muscles to move. They're attached to our bones, and when they slide together, they pull our bones in different directions, which allows us to make all sorts of movements like walking, jumping, bending, smiling, and even blinking. If you don't use a group of muscles for a period of time, they can become weaker, so to avoid this you should exercise regularly. By exercising at a level that you find difficult, you strengthen your muscles. When you work hard like this, muscles are slightly damaged and they then repair and rebuild, becoming stronger.